Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we're going to continue with the employees management system, which is actually on ASP.NET MVC. So as you can see on our application, we have our employees management module where you can add a new employee. So on this form, you can see the kind of data that you're trying to save. You have the country, the designation, department, the gender, male, all these details. Then we have leave applications where we have the leave types. So you're able to add a new leave type, you indicate the code and the name. Then you see the details and the person who actually created. Then we have our leave applications. So you can add a new leave application here. You select the employee, the leave days, the start date, end date, the duration, the leave type, and attachment and not. So we'll be dealing with attachments on our next series. Then we have approved leave applications. So these leave applications are kind of approved. So you can see on the actions, I can be able to see edit, view, delete, reject. So if I say approve, then I'll be able to see my leave application details. So once I'm okay with it, then I can now approve my leave application. So now approving the leave application, you'll be able to see. So as you can see, there is something that has gone wrong here. And the reason as to why we have this error is because we introduce our audit trails. So I'll just take you to where that is. So if we go to our employee, that is our leave applications and our approved actions. So I'm going to approve action. So this is the approved leave application. So for the approved, so I'll just say approve. So I'll just navigate there so that you're able to see. To get that action, I'll just click here. Then I'll be able to navigate and see the approved leave application. So this is the action. So if I come here and approve leave application, for any save changes here, you should actually pass the user who is actually doing those changes. So I'll just pass the user ID here. So currently our application, we are ensuring that every change that are being done within our application, we should ensure that the records are being logged. So we'll be able to see our audit trails section so that you're able to understand how this works. So if you're new to this channel and you are following this series, or you have just come across this video, so we have a series of how we started this application, and we are now moving with the series. So as you can see now under leave application, is I just click approve. I can now add my text here and I click approve. So my leave application will be approved and it will move to approved leave application. So you can see these are the approved leave applications and the status here. Then we have the rejected leave applications. So you have the statuses as you can see here. Then under leave applications, that are the only things that we have. Then under system security, we have the users. So here you can add a new user to our application. And as you can see, then the only thing that you need to check here is the user role. So you need to identify the role for that particular user and tie it to a user. Then once you do that, you can also create a role if that role is not part of the list. So you can add a new role. Then for the system security, we also have the system profiles. So these system profiles are kind of system sub-modules and actions. So you can actually create them and you can choose the part of the module or sub-module that they fall under. The reason as to why we have that, when you come to system profiles, you should be able, so when you come to system user roles, you should be able to assign a role to a particular user. But how do we do that? We actually change these to system roles. Then when you are within the roles here, you can assign a rights. So as you can see, if I click assign rights, I'm able to see the rights that are there within that particular role. So you can see I have the module, the submodule, action, and the assigned right. So for example, like employee management, you have these, a view. Under leave types, we have the leave types application. So we'll clean up this area so that you're able to see how it works. Then we also have system audit logs. As I had indicated, our application is logging any changes that we make. You can see, for example, this is a delete we deleted the leave type. So here you're able to see the user, the audit type, whether it is a create, update, or delete, the table name that was affected, the date and time, and the old values. For example, like a delete, we will get the old values because this record is being deleted. For an update, you'll be able to get the new and the old values. So let me just try to see if we have an update. So this is an update. You see, this is an update to our leave application. So if I click on it, I'll be able to see, so I'll just click on view details. I'll be able to see the user, the update type, the leave application table that was affected, the date time, the old values were these, and the new values are these, and the affected columns, the columns that were modified. So we'll be able to actually handle the stylings on this form. Then under system security, we have the designations where we have departments. We also have banks. We also have countries, and we also have towns and cities. We also have system codes, and we have the system codes details. So on today's video, I want us to create something small on part of our series. So I want us to create another submodule within this application. So I'll just go to our views. So I'll just go to layered, that is the shared folder. Then under layout, I'm going to create another submodule. So that submodule, I'm going to call it here. So I'll just copy, for example, this one. Then I'm going to change, going to have that. Then I'm going to close it. So I'll just close it. So close it again. So these should close that. So I'm going to ensure that we have our employees. So our employees, I'm going to have it here. So I'll call it employees list. Then I'm going to remove it here. Then this module, I'm going to call it HR and payroll. So I'm going to call it HR and payroll. So this is HR and payroll. Sorry. So under our HR and payroll module, we have our employees list. So let me just format this so that it looks a bit better. So I'll just scroll up. So we'll have you see, under HR and payroll, we have our employees list. Then the next thing that I want us to have within our employees list is I want us to have holidays here. So I'll just say holidays. So I'm going to add here and say holidays. So we are able to keep track of our holidays within our system. So, but we don't have this module. So what I'm going to do, I want us to create our holidays within our application. And one thing that I want us to do is we need to create a model. That is our first thing that we should do. So I'm going to come to our models. Then I'll just create a holiday here. Just create a class called holiday. So I'll call this holiday. Press enter. Then I'll go to here and I'll do provide some properties. So I'll say public int, then ID. Then after doing that, I should now be able to provide some other details. So I'll give the holiday name. What is the title? Let's call it title. So I'll just call here title. Then I'll also do what other thing? I'll have the start date. Here will be date time. So you can have here start date. So then you can have the end date. Then here I'll say end date. So once you have that, then you can have maybe the description. You can have here the description. So for the description, so this is description, that's okay. So I want also to track the user details. So I'll just say here modify user activity. So I'll say user activity. So this user activity model, we are inheriting some properties from here. So if we go back to user activity, you'll be able to see we have the created by, created on, modified by, and modified on. So we want our table to actually track the person who created those particular records. So after doing that, the next thing is to go to application DB context here. Then I'm going to add this table. So I'm going to do public, then DB set, then I'm going to insert there. Then I'm going to give the name of our table. So this will be holidays. Then that is get set. So after that, the next thing is to run migrations. So I'll just do NuGet package manager. Then I'll just say add migrations command. So I'll say add migrations. Then I'll give the name of the migration. So I'll say holidays. Then press enter. So once we press enter, then our application should generate, the command should be generated, and we should be able to get the migration file. So let's just wait and see. So application is running. There we go. So I'll now update my database with this new table. So I'll say update database. Press enter. Then our database should be updated. So there we go. Migrations is running. Then you can see this is the create table command. Then this should be able to create our table. So we are good up to there. So the next thing is I want us to scaffold. So right click on controllers, then add new item, then new scaffolded item. Then I'm going to choose MVC controller with views using entity framework. Then here I'll choose my model, which is holiday. So let me try, yeah, there we go. Then you see our controller name is holiday. So I'm going to add that. So it should now generate for us all the CRUD options. So let's just wait and see. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And also like our video. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you've not subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider subscribing and we will really appreciate. So support our channel, comment down below, and we will really appreciate. So as this generates, so let's just wait and see how it goes. So we are going to do this video until we actually complete our employees management system with all the features that you can be able to get anywhere within any project. So this is the only series that you can get, guys, that you are building a project from start to an end with you guys. So we will appreciate if you also give us comments on what you need us to include within this project, and we will be happy to do so. So we are building this project together, and you can also support us in case you feel you want to buy us coffee. You can actually use the link down below to buy us a coffee, and we will really appreciate. So our application is generating the code. So let's just wait and see. There we go. So we have our holidays controller now, and we have our actions. You see, we have all these actions. So if we just close our controller folder, then go to our views, we should be able to see a folder called holidays. So we just do that. You'll be able to see we have our folder called holidays, and we have the index. So you see, this is the index table. So I'm going to borrow some things from our index. I want it to be within our template. So I'm going to copy this table layout up to there. Then I'm going to replace it here. So just to look a bit better. Then I'm going to say this add new holiday. Then here I'll say holidays list. Then I'll try to close this so that we don't have, so I'll close this as well. So let's try again and see. I think they're okay. So let's format that. So then here I want to remove, so I don't want to display create modified by and created and modified on. So I'm also going to remove the same here. Then I'll put in my actions here. So I'll say here edit, and I'll also put in view So this is view, then I'll put in here delete. So after doing that, I'll also borrow my buttons from this area. So I have them here with styles. So these just doing this so that we are able to move faster. You can see how it looks. We have the edit, details, and view, and also they have the edit view. So our view here, we should actually say edit here. Then once that is okay, we have now our holidays list. Then the next thing is on our create. Let's just see how it looks like. You see how it looks like. So I want us to be in 2 columns. So I'm going to as well do this. So then I'll come to create here. Then I'll have this as MD12. Paste this here. Then I'll come here and close. I'll just close one. Paste this there. Going to close. Sorry. I'm going to close this. Paste this there. I'll also close this. Then I'll also do that. So trying to make our layout look a bit better. So going to do that as well. So the next thing is, you see these created or by and created on. I want us to remove this. This will be automatically assigned by our application. So I'll just format that. Then I'm going to ensure that everything is closed. So if we come here, click that. If we click here, we should be able to have it. There we go. So I think it's okay. That is okay. That is okay. And there we go. So the next thing is to ensure our layout, we can be able to navigate to our application. So let's just go to shared layout. Then under holidays, it should take us to index, but now to the holidays controller. So here we should specify the controller. Then we can launch our application. So if we launch, but before we launch our application, there's something we need to ensure we've done. So you remember our application is now tracking our audit logs. So what we need to do, let's go to our controller. So we need to ensure that we are able to track every user. So that is under holidays controller. For the create, you see here. So I want us, when we do create, I want us to remove this binding there. Then I want us to do this. So I want us to remove that. So when we are creating, I want us to assign the user ID. So I'll take holiday, then I'll say here, say holiday.created by. We should assign it the person who created, should be the user ID. Then to get the user ID, this is how you can get the user. Then I'll also do a holiday dot created on. Then I'll just say get. So I'll say date time dot now. So I'll just do that. And I can also do the same for editing. So if we go to our edit, I'm also going to remove this binding here. Then I'm also updating. So I'll just update. So I'll remove that. Then I'm going to update that way. So then here I'll change this to modified by, and this is the modified on. But on our create, we need to pass here. We need to pass the user ID inside our save changes so that we don't get any errors related to audit trails. So let's just launch our application, and we can be able now to create we can be able to create our holiday, then save it to our application. So if you like this video, comment down below, subscribe and like our videos, then we should be able to proceed. So I'm going to log in to my application. So sign in. Then here I'll just come now. You see we now have a new section called holidays, that is HR and payroll. Then under HR and payroll, we have employees list and holidays. So if I click holidays, it should take me to the holidays list. You see, Then I can now be able to add a new holiday. You can see here the title, maybe I can say Jamu, I can say Madaraka Day. Madaraka Day. So that is a Madaraka Day is like Independence Day here in Kenya. So you can add another one if you want. So I'll just put in, I can say Independence Day. So that is there. So I can now create save. So if I click create, you should be able to add my Madaraka Day. You see this is Madaraka Day. This is the start date, end date, description, the created by, it has assigned the user ID, and the created on, it has assigned the time. So I can create another day and I can say Christmas Day. Then I can have the start date and I can have the end date and I can say Christmas Day. So if I create that, I'm able to add. So you can actually add as many holidays as you can. And as you can see, if we go to our audit logs, we should be able to see those new records. So let me just go to the last item. You see, these are the audit logs. It tells us there was an audit for create. The table affected is the holiday, and you can get the values. So these are the new values that was applied. So this is the primary key as well. And if we click view, we are able to get the details. So this is the user who created, the created by, the table that was affected, the date and time, and these are the new values that were inserted to the database. So if I go back to our holidays, then we are able to see our holidays details. So I can actually add another one, assuming I can say Huduma Day. So that is Huduma. So it's called Huduma Day. Then I can have my start date and end date here. Then I can put in description. Let's say this is Huduma Day. Then I can create. So here you can see now my list of holidays are there, and we are good to go. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. For today, we are just covering how to create holidays within our application. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.